So, January, silly season, absolutely definitely, with Lewis Hamilton poised to go to Ferrari. Another big announcement for the first month of the year. Let's get into it. Here's on gpfans.com as well, but let's get into the main crux of the story on motorsport.com. And it says here, although no official announcement to be made, but Hamilton seems likely at the moment to be going to Ferrari in 2025. And this is what it says on motorsport.com. Hamilton set to make shock switch to Ferrari in 2025. They've called it a sensational move. It's not clear if a final contract has been signed, but they understand that negotiations are at an advanced stage and could be concluded by the end of the week, no least. So Ferrari have been long interested in Hamilton. We've known that. There's all these stories that happen around silly season, whenever that is. And it appears now off the back of two, what they described as challenging years for Mercedes. Ferrari is now close to convincing that they are the ones to provide them with a better future. Last year, as we know, Hamilton signed that multi-year contract with Mercedes for 24 and 25. So I always figured that's going to seal the deal. But it now appears that a second season may have only been an option. And the option, which would normally be on the team's front, is believed to be on Hamilton's front with the option for 2025. And that means Hamilton has that escape clause. So if he signs for Ferrari, he'll be able to join from 25. Now, both Ferrari and Mercedes, they've declined to comment on the situation, normally meaning that it's true sometimes. So should Hamilton's move be confirmed, it's going to be a huge blow to Mercedes, motorsport.com is reporting. I mean, that kind of makes sense because they went through lengthy contract negotiations. They've supported him throughout all this as well. And speaking after the deal was done, Hamilton was at pains to suggest that he had belief in Mercedes when he re-signed with them and that they learnt lessons from the 22 and 23 season, although he was frustrated, wasn't he, with the saying they did nothing that he asked to have done, including, obviously, the driver position for 2023. Now, asked by motorsport.com at last year's Abu Dhabi Grand Prix if he ever doubted getting back to the front, he said, no, not when we were doing negotiations. He said, I do have faith that we will get there. We have been here before as a team. And while we have more and more new people, we still have great values. I see great focus with everyone. He added, I think for this year, as in 2023, they thought the fundamentals were good, but we just had to go here. And that essentially he's saying that wasn't the case. That's why he was frustrated in February, because they hadn't made any changes he asked for, as we just said. But with the changes they're making, he said, I hope we are right. And yeah, I guess we have no idea what the Red Bulls are going to do. I don't think anyone does there. So there, no apologies being made for Hamilton there, but it is unclear what, though, has been the trigger point for a potential change of heart over Hamilton's commitment to Mercedes, where he had been, as we all thought, expected to live out his F1 career. Early indications from Mercedes wind tunnel have pointed towards the W15, as in the 2024 car, being a good step forward, while the German manufacturer recently made clear that the team boss, Toto Wolff and James Allison, had also extended their contracts. So it was looking absolutely, thumbs up stellar. And they've also got here the factors involved in Hamilton's poised sensational switch to Ferrari. So do they have a list? They don't have a list here. But the story is, they've said Hamilton's been linked with a move to Maranello on several occasions. They're initially rumours. Ferrari recently agreed to a contract extension for Charles Leclerc, but interestingly, and that's several more seasons for Leclerc, not for Carlos Sainz. So there we go. Is that because they knew they were looking at Hamilton for 2025? Who knows? And while Hamilton has driven for Mercedes since 2013, when he in a very similar breaking news, albeit throughout this was in season, he left McLaren to go for Mercedes. Everyone thought, that could be a risky move because McLaren are really good. Look what happened. So, in a bid to recapture its former glory and chase after Red Bull, Chief Technical Officer James Allison has also returned to that on-track role to help Mercedes. With Hamilton, he's celebrated this year his 39th birthday. He said time is running out if he wants to fulfill that dream with Ferrari, or to even go for that 8th title. So what was the trigger point? Was it the fact that he is getting old, he always wants to drive for Ferrari, or does he not have the faith in Ferrari in Mercedes? Does he know something we don't? And you've got to wonder, if he's there for 2025, surely he's going to be there for 2026, going into that new set of regulations. Very similar, if you remember, to what he did with Mercedes. 2013, and then the new regulations, 2014 hit, and bam, Mercedes, and essentially Hamilton dominance minus the Nico Rosberg year from 2016. Is it there? I mean, it is pretty much almost looks official. Lewis, I mean, this is Andrew Benson on the BBC. Hamilton poised to make a shock move. A number of senior sources say a deal between the 7-time champion and Ferrari has been agreed and could be announced as early as Thursday, which is today. And Ferrari want Hamilton to join Charles Leclerc. Now, here's an interesting one. Okay, Carlos Sainz, we don't need you. But what does that say about Charles Leclerc? This is their number one guy. I mean, Fred Vasseur has come out and has, I think, made intimations that, you know, Leclerc has been their number one guy. But then what does that say to Charles Leclerc when you think, oh, we need Lewis Hamilton, not you, Leclerc? What does that say? I mean, Leclerc, yes, he obviously he's made mistakes, but on one lap, he's potentially the fastest driver at the moment. But then again, Hamilton is really, really good during the race. And Hamilton, yes, you could make an argument throughout his career, especially his junior career, when compared to Leclerc, he made less mistakes. But he still, make under pressure. Everyone's fallible to errors. So, also, before we do go though with this breaking news, here is GPFans.com, and they're reporting here that shock Hamilton move could happen this season. This is at 1:27, so this was about 10-ish minutes ago, and it has here Lewis Hamilton's reported move to Ferrari looks set to be confirmed by the end of the week. The Italian media have added a new detail. According to newspaper Gazzetta dello Sport, the switch, which has been widely reported will come for 2025 season, could even impact the current campaign. The move will shake up Formula One landscape when it comes today or in a year from now, but the report, which claims the 7-time champion could arrive in Maranello in 2025, but it's not excluded the coupe could be brought forward even by a season. Could even, and if that's the case, while it's expected Red Bull will be the dominant team, Hamilton would be joining the only team who managed to win a race last year. I mean, I think for Mercedes could have won that race, and so could a McLaren back at Singapore, but obviously it was Ferrari were the ones. But that was a really competitive Grand Prix for all three of those teams, for McLaren, Ferrari and Mercedes. And it says here, Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari, always thought it would happen one day. Finally it will, and it seemed as early as 2025. Seismic move. This is from David Croft on Twitter. Just as it was when Lewis joined Mercedes, and like then, I don't see the negatives. But wow, undoubtedly the biggest transfer on transfer deadline day. Brundle said, I'm so looking forward to this. We've asked him for years about it, and he seems nailed on for Merck for life, and always dismissive of moving Hamilton and Leclerc in Scarlet. That's the story. So, I mean, they've gone. Hamilton to join Ferrari from the 25 season. That's what Sky pretty much said. Now, confirmation of the switch is expected, as we know, as early as tonight, maybe, this afternoon, Thursday, the 1st of Feb. And the interesting thing about that is Craig Slater on Sky Sports was suggesting that a lot of the Mercedes down at their cap, I think in Brackley, there's going to be a meeting at 2:00. And if it's broadly reported the move doesn't go through until 25, then this will be Carlos Sainz's last year with Ferrari. And the Spaniard's contract is up at the end of the 2024 season. Some reports over the last year have linked Sainz to a seat, I think with Audi, for example. But the news has definitely shaken up the F1 paddock. Although not official, it appears likely to happen. No, I did have to check. It's definitely not April the 1st. It's February the 1st. Hamilton to Ferrari, very, very likely. Stay tuned. No doubt we'll be sending out another video maybe to talk about it when it is official. Speak to you soon.